Welcome back to Forward Progress, presented by Fanduel. Jason Cooper here, alongside Chris at FlupNoLide on Twitter. And today, we're going to be taking a look at the Coach of the Year market. We're going to be talking about what it takes to win the award, some, I don't want to call it trends, but some things that Chris has noticed while betting on this award in previous years. Talk about who we like, who we don't like. Yeah, just give our general thoughts on the Coach of the Year award. Chris, let's start off. Before we take a look at the board, Chris, tell me a little bit about how you approach betting the Coach of the Year award. It's often viewed as almost the overachiever award because the best coach doesn't always win. How many Coach of the Years does Andy Reid have? One? I think he only has one. It's like the good coaches don't always win. It's the guy who beats not even market expectation, just everyone's general sentiment on a certain team. As long as they can overperform that, they're a front runner for Coach of the Year. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about how you attack this market.
So I really hate betting coaches that have made the playoffs last year or had double-digit wins the previous year. I think I think so many voters look at like how many wins improved did you have from the year prior. If you brought the team to the playoffs in a long time, that really is a big narrative. So if you've had a good season the year prior, it really makes me hate you as a bet. This is why we don't see Andy Reid. I mean, Andy Reid got 15-2, 16-1. If he even gets that again, like how many votes is he gonna get? Like it's gonna be really hard. He needs to go 17-0 realistically, in my opinion, to have a true shot at winning Coach of the Year. And it's hard to go 17-0. So guys like that, I would heavily avoid. I would look towards new coaches because they're gonna set the bar really low. So new coaches are always going to have a good shot at exploding.
Yeah, well, if you even look at the top of the board, a ton of new coaches there. Take out Mike Macdonald, and I think it's the first six are new coaches: Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll, Liam Coen, Aaron Glenn, Kellen Moore. Speaking of the new coaches, anyone you like in that list at their given price? Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel look to me like the best bets there, just because simply the other teams just don't have enough talent to be a good team. Do you like Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel or maybe the other guys I mentioned?
Yeah, so I like Mike Vrabel a little bit more than Ben Johnson here, and mainly because what I said earlier, the Patriots had less wins the year prior. So if the Patriots are able to sneak into the wild card at like a 9-8, you could say, oh, that's a 5-win improvement. That's super good. Whereas Ben Johnson, the Bears actually did a little bit better than the Patriots did. And Caleb wasn't horrible. He wasn't great. So you need to see Caleb have a massive improvement in my opinion, for Ben Johnson to get a bunch of credit. It's entirely possible, but I'm just getting a little bit of a better price from Vrabel, and I think he's got more upside because he's starting at such a low going.
Yeah, and we took a look at some other guys here, or we mentioned some other guys in like Pete Carroll, Liam Coen, Aaron Glenn, Kellen Moore. It seems like you're kind of off those guys. Let's talk about like a little bit more of we'll call it veteran head coaches or guys who've been around for a couple of years. But before we do that, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors over at FanDuel. It might be the offseason, but if you want to bet on the NFL and NFL futures, FanDuel is the place to go for that action. Like I just had on the screen there, the Coach of the Year award is up on FanDuel and tons of other award markets, including MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. They have passing props, rushing props, receiving props, so many different things, including win totals that you can parlay together, which I absolutely love. If you want to check that out, just head over to FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/forward progress to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/forward progress. All right, let's talk about the guys. Maybe I don't want to say towards the back because it's such a small group. There's only 32 options here of people who can win the award. But let's look at maybe the middle of the board here and like the Jim Harbaughs, the Jonathan Gannons, the Shane Steichens. Anyone you like there? Any interesting names that stick out to you for this award?
Yes, I really like Shane Steichen and Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan at 30-1 seems very good to me because, as I mentioned before, the Niners didn't make the playoffs. They had a bad season. Yes, it was because of injury, but it's still, if he goes like a 12-5 season, that's a massive win improvement. Whereas see the other guys, like as I mentioned earlier, Andy Reid, it's just gonna be really hard. There's no win improvement here, so it's gonna be very difficult for people to think, oh, he really did that much better and he was that good of a coach because they believe he has such a good team, even though they don't understand that he's probably a big reason why the team is so good. So Kyle Shanahan at 31 is probably my favorite bet. Shane Steichen at 25-1. If he's able to unlock something with Anthony Richardson, I know it's been a few years now, but that could be very, very good. But any of these guys, like Todd Bowles rather, John Harbaugh, just no, thank you. You've done too good in the year prior, and it's going to be very, very hard unless you have a truly legendary season of like 16 plus wins for you to get any real shot at winning the award.
Well, I will say there's a guy on this list who has a chance of being fired this year, is kind of deeper down, had a poor record last year, and could probably flip the narrative with a good year. And I'll tell you that I'll try and paint the picture for you. I think they're a team that has a defense that they've invested a lot into over the last 3 years in the draft. So we should see all the pieces come together. They didn't have really good quarterback play last year. And this year they've invested a ton into the quarterback position. I don't know if you can guess what I'm talking about here, but it's the New York Giants and Brian Daboll at 30-1. Does that interest you at all? Because for me, when I just did like my offseason work looking through the teams, the Giants kind of stuck out to me as like a team that could be very frisky.
That's actually a very good point. The Giants did awful last year, which I love to see as a betting coach of the year. That's basically the only thing that I care about. And I think he is an offensive genius. I don't think he deserves to be fired. I thought he was very, very good. He's one of the top 10 offensive minds, in my opinion, in the league. And if he's able to have something with the new quarterback play, if Russell Wilson's able to show him something, or maybe they play Jackson Dart a little bit, then they could have, and they do any sort of damage, squeaking the playoffs at 9-8. He's probably in the conversation. And like you said, their defense, they have been spending there and improving it. So hopefully they can get something going and just rack up some wins, because the most important thing is the wins, not how good they look.
100%. Yeah. So the defense there, that was the biggest thing for me. I just looked and I saw their defense. I'm like, these guys have invested so much. They finally have quarterback play. Like Russell Wilson's not the best quarterback in the league, but he's not the 32nd best quarterback like the quarterback play they had last year. It's an upgrade on Danny Dimes and Tommy DeVito and whoever else was throwing the ball for the New York Giants. But that just about does it for us here today. If you like the content and you're new to the channel, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. I want to hear your thoughts. You guys see the board right here, have it up on screen. Tell us who you like in the comment section down below to win Coach of the Year. And also make sure you attach the price so we can either laugh at you at the end of the year or come back and say, wow, look at this. This guy's a genius. So, include the price in there. Comment below who you think is going to win the award. Make sure you keep your eye out. We have tons of new content coming your way throughout the entire offseason. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.